Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James, and today I'm going to go over some of my most wanted games to play on the Steam Deck. And yes, this might be a little premature, but these are the things that I want to play on the go and at all times. And I think the last few might be a little surprising to some, so wait until you get to the end of the video for sure. Before we get into that, make sure to subscribe, to like the video, to bash that bell with your crowbar, and now let's get into it. Okay, first up, I just want to explain the different verified levels that ProtonDB has. Platinum is playable with the configured collection, with it being configured the way it is. Don't mess it with anything, it's going to work great. Gold, you might have to configure some things, whether it be controls for the controller, the mouse, whatever it is. That's what kind of gold means. And then I'm not going to go into bronze or anything below that because it gets a little iffy, and some of these might fall into that, but I'm not too concerned because by the time I'm going to be able to play it, hopefully everything is platinum. That being said, there's also native. That's one I forget about. And native means it works on Linux. It doesn't need a translation layer. It doesn't need Proton. It just works in Linux. That being said, we'll see. It's been a while since I've played games on Linux, and maybe I need to do a whole episode on that. And to be honest, I do have an extra computer over there that I can boot up into Linux, and we'll see. We can see how the SteamOS is working and try some of these games on it. So that'll be another video. We'll get into that another time. Okay, the top 10 list, and then I'll have some honorable mentions. I'm gonna go by my most favorite to my not necessarily least favorite, but maybe a little bit more surprising. But the one that might be surprising is that Half-Life's not the first one. That's one of my favorite games, and so is Dead Space. If you've watched the channel for a while, you know those are two of my favorites. Thus the bash the bell with the crowbar. Witcher 3 is my number one. I love it. I've put 200 hours into this game. I love this game. So for some of you who have watched more videos, and especially one like the Witcher 3 podcast that we had, I love that game. I've played all of it. It took me a year and a half to play. It's a lot to absorb, but I've played the DLCs and the original Witcher 3. Haven't played Witcher 1 and 2 past probably 4 or 5 hours. That's another thing that I'm excited for. I do kind of cheat on this list. Some of these items on the list will be more than one, but I will focus it down to which one I'm more excited for this device. And Witcher 3 is that one, but I do want to play Witcher 1 and 2 on it because it's always worth playing the games before it, even though Witcher 3 is the best one, in my opinion, out of the three. I know some people really like Witcher 2, but to each their own. I like it, but not as much as Witcher 3. That's why I couldn't finish it. Okay, number 2 is Half-Life 2, and that is including the DLCs into this one, but I'm also going to play Half-Life 1. I'm going to play, who knows, even Alex maybe with the stripped out VR version. I do have the VR up there above me that I do play Alex on, and I love it, but it's just my favorite game of all time. So, of course, I'm going to be playing Half-Life on the go. I don't even like controllers, but we'll see it. We'll see if the gyro works with it, and if it does, that's going to be probably the most interesting experience that I've had in a Half-Life game or in a first-person shooter game since I played Half-Life Alyx, and that was an amazing experience, and I definitely recommend that to anyone that can experience Half-Life Alyx. Okay, number 3, and this one I almost forgot about, but Dead Space. And I don't know how I almost forgot about it because I've mentioned a lot in the past. Dead Space 1 particular, but 1 and 2 I will play a lot on this. And this one is platinum. So it's going to work from the get-go. And then I forgot to mention Half-Life 2 is native, so it's just going to work on Linux, period. So with that just being said, if they tweak things, I guess on Proton or the SteamOS, it's not going to necessarily break it. It just works. Witcher 3 is platinum also. Okay, Dead Space. The controls. Witcher 3 and Dead Space are third-person action. One being horror, the other one being near horror if you've played Witcher 3. Dead Space is going to be a fun one. It's going to be so fun with a controller. I have played it with the keyboard and mouse and with a controller. And I played it originally on PlayStation 3. I do prefer it on controller, but I still will play it on the keyboard and mouse sometimes just because portability, like on my computer, my laptop that is. That's why I'm going to play it on the Steam Deck. And it's going to probably look pretty good, and I bet you they're going to be able to get pretty close to maxing out those graphics. And I am so excited to play Dead Space in the middle of the forest by myself with a summoning circle, and I'm in Utah, so who knows what's out there in the forests, chupacabra, whatever it is. I know it's not really Arizona, but something's going to get me, and I'm fine with that because I'll have Dead Space. Okay, number 4 is Grand Theft Auto 5. I have yet to really seriously play the story on this. Every time I get into it, I just want to jump off buildings and destroy everything I can. So I'm gonna actually take it serious this time, and I'm going to play through it and actually beat it, and maybe we'll have a podcast later on down the road with it. Dying Light 2 is my number 5. Stay Human is to complete the title, I guess. That one's gonna be gold. So is Grand Theft Auto 5 is gold. I have a feeling that both these are gonna hit platinum within the next few weeks, especially Grand Theft Auto 5, just because that's a big game, very popular. But I will have to say I am pretty excited to play Dying Light 2. I still haven't done that yet, and I'm going to do a video on that, the first hour of Dying Light 2, Stay Human. And so I'm excited. Number 5. I'm going to play a lot of it on my PC, but I have a feeling once I get my device, I'll be playing most of it on my Steam Deck. Number 6 is Elden Ring. This has been verified platinum. Supposedly platinum, but it's been verified, meaning it's most likely platinum, and it's going to play fairly decent. I can't say if it's going to look good, but it should be able to play well. And with that, Dark Souls 3, if I can't get Elden Ring to quite work, even though it is verified from some of the news outlets out there, we'll see. I'm recording this right when Elden Ring is coming out, so we'll see. Number 7 is Final Fantasy 7, which I didn't even take into account that my numbering system would match up with which Final Fantasy, but it's the remake. And I've played it. I enjoy the remake. I think the original's better, but I want to finish it. And I think it would be the best case scenario to finish it on the go, as I do like to play those types of games, like RPGs. I like to play them for about 30 minutes, maybe 2 hours, and then suspend. Like I do it on Switch all the time, and then get back to it. Like I like to play them kind of like how I read a book, which is in between doing things. That would be a perfect one, and that's one of the reasons I'm so excited for Steam Deck, is that I can do a lot of these games, beat a lot of these games that I just haven't been able to beat or play yet on the go, and it's gonna make it a lot easier for me. Okay, Left 4 Dead 2 is my 8th one, with Back 4 Blood. These are kind of tied a little bit, but I'm gonna go with Left 4 Dead 2. I really like it. I think it's native on the Steam Deck, and so it's gonna play well. And I'm gonna play it with a couple of friends. And I had to put a multiplayer game on there that I'll play. The other, like Dying Light 2 has co-op. I'll probably play that, but for sure I'm going to do Left 4 Dead 2's multiplayer, and I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Speaking of multiplayer, the next one is 7 Days to Die, and that is number 9. And I had a hard time with this one and doing like Sons of the Forest instead as number 9, but it's not verified. I couldn't find if it's been verified, but 7 Days to Die works on Linux out of the box, so it doesn't even need to be verified. Well, it is verified from my understanding because it's native, but it's going to work, and awesome. I love me killing zombies, defending my base. You can go into third person in that, so if you don't like doing for FPSs like me with a controller, I probably will still run that first person, and I'm kind of curious about the gyro if it's going to be supported on that, but that's one I'm excited for. Number 10 is the one that I was even surprised I put on this list, but I like strategy games and I haven't played one in a while, so why not? XCOM 2. I've played XCOM 1, and I really liked it. I really liked the strategy behind it and like the slow pace, and it seemed like it would be perfect for the Steam Deck to have XCOM 2. And I know it's been out for a while. It's been sitting in my Steam library, like probably everyone else that has it. It's been sitting there. I'm going to play that. And it is gold, and so it's going to play decently. Maybe, hopefully it works with controllers well, who knows. I do know that XCOM 2, I believe, is on Switch, so I would assume that there's some controllers like built-in support natively. Yeah. So, with that being said, I would also like to mention some honorable games that should have been a part of the top 10, but I just couldn't. I didn't know where to put them, to be honest. First off, Phasmophobia. I love this game. I love scary stuff. I like being scared, and horror is one of my favorite genres. And I like games that really edge into it at times. I feel like Half-Life and Witcher do a good job of that, where they aren't always horror, but they do have scary elements, like Ravenholm, or in Witcher 3 with the Hags section, or just various other parts of Witcher 3. Phasmophobia. I think I'll have a lot of fun. Hopefully I can talk some friends into playing that out in the forest once again with Dead Space. Nothing better than playing that out in the forest or at a haunted location, which I'll go do some ghost hunting with that. Real life while playing Phasmophobia. That wouldn't scare the shit out of me. But number 2 on the honorable mention is Loop Hero. This is a fun game. This is a very fun game, and it's a kind of a time suck at times. So being on the go, it'd be perfect. So if I'm on an airplane or if I'm at my family's house, just, loading that up and playing it in the background is going to be really fun and really easy. And plus, it's 200 megabytes, so it's not large. It's going to be great. And I feel like a lot of people are going to want to go with smaller games so they can fit a lot on their device, and this is going to be one of them. And I recommend this one just for something new. If you kind of like the 8-bit style, old school, maybe it's 16-bit, I don't remember what kind of bit style it is, but some old school style with new storytelling elements kind of clashing together in a good way, a good crash. That's it. Okay, number 3, Valheim. Valheim is another one of those ones that won't require a lot of resources, both storage and also graphical. The storage size is going to be 1 gigabyte. Perfect, right? And it's a game that you could play forever. So I feel like potentially it's like a Minecraft, right? And where you're building up your world. It's a world builder sandbox game, and it's fun. And I can't wait to get back into it. I haven't played it in a long time. I did a podcast on it, and that's when I played it, and it's awesome. It is native too, which, once again, another plus. It's just going to work with Linux. That being said, I will have to mention Loop Heroes Platinum, and Phasmophobia, if I haven't mentioned it, is gold. I keep on forgetting to mention the verified status. Sons of the Forest is 4. I know I mentioned it already, so just real quick, I love the Forest. I believe that is verified, or at least near verified. So I'm assuming Sons of the Forest will be verified at one point, but it's not out yet. It will probably be out way before I get my Steam Deck, because I'm Q2. But I know one of my reservations on Q1 adjacent, meaning I'm almost there in the Q1. I have a feeling, because I have a good feeling. It's all about feelings, right? And so I just feel it. StarCraft 2 is my number 5, and that one's a risky one. That one's a very risky one. I love StarCraft. I love StarCraft 1 and 2. I love the StarCraft 2 campaign. I'd love to try to play this, and maybe the trackpads will luck it out as being a decent enough experience. I know people that have played StarCraft 2 on the trackpad on Mac, and they were able to gather resources, so at least there's that. We'll see how I do, but I want to at least load it up and try. So, and then number 6, just so that we don't have a number 5 list, is World of Warcraft. I haven't played this in years. I'm really curious to see how it would play with a controller, and if it's even going to be verified. StarCraft 2 is not verified. It's not even on the list. Both of those aren't. It'll be interesting to see how they go. And that's it. That's that list. I'm so excited to play some of these games on the go, whenever I want, in bed, which is my preferred place right now, because I don't get to be in there very often, and the more I can spend time in bed, I guess, relaxing, I can be playing my Steam Deck. Now, the real serious portion of this is I want to know what your opinion is, what you want to play on your Steam Decks. What's your top 10 list? What are your honorable mentions? What are you most excited for? What games are you afraid aren't going to be supported for a long time? Let me know in the comments below. I love to hear it, and I'm going to have a subscriber list soon to where I'm going to start giving away some Steam Deck merch, and you can also buy it there. So I'm working on Steam Deck merch, just as an update, I guess, on that. And so if you're interested in the Steam Deck, buy the merch. Also, real quick, make sure to check out the videos where they're at, the recommended. Keep on watching some Steam Deck, or you can go into our podcasts, and we're going to have more game centric videos in the near future on this channel, just like this one. This one kind of melds the world of games and Steam Deck. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Later.